can't. I'm in the middle of a freaking manicure.
Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
Welcome to the show. Today we're discussing some activities in the state of Oklahoma during the month of April. I am Brett.
And I am Batman.
You are.
So, I did
What?
watch the Batman.
No, you didn't. You
I
did.
did.
Not.
I went to the Palace Twin in Duncan, Oklahoma.
You did?
So, before we get started,
God.
before we get started on the show, when you went to watch that movie, about how much money did you spend?
Oh.
Grand total for you.
Oh, I probably spent under 30.
All in, concession stand?
For me.
Concession stand, ticket, the whole nine, under 30.
Mhm.
Me, Connor, Amber, Madeline, and Connor's girlfriend, under $50.
Are you serious?
All in.
Ouch. They just don't, there's nowhere like that close to me.
It is just, it's two theaters, it's two screens. They show Batman on one and a kid's movie on the other. And I love it.
Okay.
It's a great theater. I love the theater. The Batman, I hated it.
Why?
I'm sorry. It was the most drawn out, boring piece of garbage that I have seen in the last 20 years.
No, you're wrong.
I swear to God.
Really?
I was like, Brett wrote a longer review of this movie than there are words of dialogue in this movie.
I liked that it was light on dialogue. It was dark. It was gritty. It was a detective story.
No, it wasn't. It was none of those things.
It
was lame. Okay. I felt bad that you liked it.
I liked it. I can't help it. I loved it. So, what did Connor think?
Connor and Madeline both liked it.
Okay, good.
Which they have no taste.
That's fine. We can we'll move out of state together, and you can cry about all of us being gone. All right?
Sure.
Well, I'm glad that you got to see it at the Palace Twin in Duncan, Oklahoma, which I hear is quite an experience. I've yet to experience that.
Dude, it's great. Like, it's the best. The people that run it are happy.
Yeah.
They're efficient. Their prices aren't ridiculous.
Listen, passion will take you a long ways. If you care about your thing, I mean, we talk to them all the time. I mean, we're look at Kelly with Red Bone Tacos. Look at Viridian. They're passionate about their product. If you're passionate about it, to me, I would watch a kids movie just to have that.
Dude, the history of the building is when you watch all of the fittings, like the door handles, and there are all the old school like brass, and they've got 100 years of wear on them.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just great.
It's nice to have access to those things, and I think a lot of, we say this all the time. It's almost become a drinking game. We've seen where we go through these towns and we go this place. There's so many places that don't capitalize on having theaters like that. They've let them fall into
disrepair,
and I like the feeling of walking down the sidewalk to the movies.
I agree with you 100%.
And I know I keep saying I need to do it. I need to go to the Palace Twin.
You do, and do it on a Saturday. Do it where
matinee time.
Do it matinee time. I mean, we went to a 7:00 movie. The only issue with the 7:00 movie was all of the shops are closed. We went down and we spent some time in the shops. I spent a crap ton of money in some of the local shops there. But they are nice, dude. So we did some shopping at a place called Eclectic Echo.
Oh, cool.
Dude, it is the coolest store. Like, it is an antique store, but not like the dusty antique
like where
store.
It smells like mothballs and...
Right. But you get in and you're walking and you're like, oh, they have an upstairs. And you go upstairs and you're like, man, there's so much stuff up here. And then you go, wait a minute, there's another floor.
Right.
And you go, dude, so much stuff. And it ranged from legitimately ancient antiques to just vintage.
Right.
But everything was really nice. There was no no junk.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times what you find where you have to go in these places where it looks like organized chaos or a rummage sale with price tags. And I like going into places like that, even if you don't. And the reality of it is, if you're into that type of thing, you honestly don't have to buy anything. It's like walking into a free museum.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing stuff, like you said, from way back when to way back 1990s, right?
Dude, I had to use Google like 10 times when I was in there. I was like, where's this? What is this?
Right.
Yeah, it was a good time. But then, again, the movie, great at the location. The movie itself, Stinksville.
But here's the thing. I know you enough to know.
Yes.
If your favorite movie is Alien versus Predator, you're not in for a pound with the Batman. You're just not. I know you. If it looks like it could be an award, if they mention award attached to it, I think if it said Blade Runner 2055 nominated for an Oscar, you wouldn't watch it, right?
No.
So I'll give you a pass because I know your taste in movies.
There's no way that thing is winning an award. Maybe for dullest movie ever to hit the screen. Maybe for
you didn't even
lamest.
like the car chase scene?
There was one part in that whole movie, when his car first starts up in the alley. That was the only time I was like, that was cool. Literally every other part of it, I was trying to stay awake, or I was just thinking, how did Brett like this?
I loved it. Sorry. I liked it.
Okay, enough about Batman, though.
No, we're not going to talk about Batmen. We're going to talk about Dogwoods.
Yes,
right?
The Dogwood Days Festival in Idabel, Oklahoma, April 1st and 2nd.
I don't know a ton, but I do have a pretty cool little factoid that I think you might think is interesting about Dogwoods. There's a bunch of them, but this one I think really brings it home. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's believed that Native Americans would use the dogwood tree to determine when to plant their crops, such as corn. If the dogwood was blooming, they knew that it was time to start planting corn.
Really?
Yep. Pretty cool, huh?
That is very cool. I figured you were going to hit me with a whole bunch of what's the scientific name for the dogwood, which would be the Cornus genus.
Oh,
obviously.
Wow.
Do you know how long the dogwood has been the dogwood?
I would say for a coon's age. I don't know.
Since the year 1614 was the first time that it was used. The term dogwood was used. It specifically the fruit is referred to as either dogberries or houndberries.
Okay. They
use it primarily for cutting boards and other fine turnings. Mm-hmm. One theory of why it's named dogwood is that they think it was derived from an old English word, dagwood. Dagwood referring to the slender stems of very hard wood for making sharp objects. Dags, like a dagger.
Or I was going to say, you like dags? No, or the character Dagwood from the comic strips in the newspaper.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably where it's from.
There's also a sandwich named a Dagwood as well.
I think it's actually named after the comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. There's a lot of Dagwood history. And you can find all of that Dagwood history at the Dogwood Festival.
The Dogwood Days Festival? I don't think that you can.
No?
This is a celebration of the springtime blooms in Idabel, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The annual event has a wide range of events that happen during that time frame. You've got arts and crafts vendors, you've got children's games, live entertainment. More importantly, you've got the dogwood blooming. But basically, you're looking at just old-fashioned family entertainment. Like
fair food.
Yes.
That I can't eat, but it sounds delicious. Golf tournament? They have a golf tournament going on?
They do have a golf tournament going on. The festival starts off with the Mr. and Mrs. Dogwood Days pageant. They've got live music, food trucks, and then on Saturday, they've got a crawfish boil, a car show, a chicken cook-off, and street dance. But if you're interested in checking out the Dogwood Days Festival in Idabel, easiest way is the Idabel Chamber of Commerce or theidabelchamber.com.
You know, springtime in Oklahoma means a lot of different things. I'm trying to figure out a way to not say It's that time of year again, but I just did, so we're going to dive right in. It's car show season.
It is car show season, but more importantly, it's festival season.
It is.
This is the kickoff of festival season.
Yes, and as you've kind of found out the hard way, if you don't show up early to festival season, you're probably not going to have a place to park unless you've got a car show in the festival. But the Maiden, Oklahoma Festival coming up this year in Seminole, it's a great opportunity. You can browse local food, fairs, crafts, number of products that are Oklahoma grown. As always, a great opportunity to kind of stay local, buy local, and support, your beekeepers.
You've got a ton of local crafters, homemade wares, food vendors. They have a wine tasting and sampling of locally produced wines, which is becoming a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. You remember, it's probably been, I don't know, I say 20 years ago, but we've talked about it. We don't have known each other that long. When wine was really kind of first starting to come here, and we're like, man, this could be a thing. And then now there's just been a huge explosion. With wineries and granted, not the same thing, but with local breweries. It's just become a hub for an alcohol, a locally grown alcohol hub.
They also are having a golf tournament,
yep,
but a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
A spaghetti dinner.
I'm on board with a spaghetti dinner with whole wheat noodles.
So, again, I'm sticking to my keto guns, but I'm pretty sure, given the right circumstances, I could eat my weight in spaghetti and garlic bread.
This is what I've discovered about myself. Give me meatballs with a side of noodles. I like spaghetti and meatballs, but I really like
meatballs.
I
do too.
I can just eat them and just kind of, because pasta makes me feel run down. Meatballs, on the other hand, make me feel like $1 million of pressed meat.
But if you're interested in more information on the Maiden, Oklahoma Festival and Car Show, go to OnlyinOKShow.org.
Well, this next thing, I think we can't do a show anymore that doesn't have something to do with somewhere that within a 20-mile radius of Medicine Park, but this thing is a tradition.
Yes, the Holy City of the Wichita's Easter Passion Play goes back a minute.
A long time. When I was a kid, I grew up around that area. My grandparents lived in Elgin, which is a little town that's, well, it's not so little now, but at the time, it had one grocery store, and we would go out there and watch it. And I don't know if it's changed, but you pull up the car, and you just got out a lawn chair, and you kind of just watch it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd been to the Holy City, seems like 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool place to go out and just kind of walk around.
It is. But before we get into the event completely, I do want to talk about, we made a promise, and we broke the promise. We were going to be at Medicine Park's Park Stomp.
Yeah.
And you canceled because you had to work.
I had to work.
I didn't cancel, but I didn't get to go.
What happened?
So we get there
early
on Saturday, and we go in the back way because,
that's what you do.
We're old pros.
Right. You
go in the back way.
You know the secret passageway, right.
So there are cars everywhere. There was not a strip of curb that didn't have a car parked on it.
Jeez.
So we drove all the way through town, which was a nightmare because it was packed. And I don't recommend driving through Medicine Park during an event.
It's all pedestrian traffic.
Yes. So we get out to where their overflow parking is, and we get waved the other direction.
To the overflow.
We get over there, and
then you get waved.
The parking attendant said, there may be a spot behind Chaps.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
Wow.
So we didn't get to...
Chaps is right up there by the road, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a walk if you've got to park back there.
Yeah.
So, again, it was a huge success. I just didn't get to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, too, is things are slowly kind of opening back up again. I think people still were a little hesitant in years past. There was a time where there wasn't anything, and there was a time where they kind of had something, and now everybody's just converging And again, not to we keep tooting Medicine Park's horn, but they have grown so much.
Yeah, I'm honestly of the opinion that any additional growth, and they're going to have to probably cut off outside traffic during event days
And just shuttle people in or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much space there.
Yeah.
And they've hit their max capacity,
they're
which is
maxed out.
great for
Yeah,
them.
That's good for them.
And it looked like a fun time. Everybody looked like they were having a good time. I just didn't have a spot where I could leave my truck.
Absolutely. Well, if you're in that neighborhood, swing by Madison Park. But Holy City Passion Place coming up.
Yeah, April 9th at the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge.
Mm-hmm. So the one thing I think is the most astonishing about this, it's the longest running Easter pageant of its kind in the U.S. How long does this thing go back?
1926.
Almost as long as the original Easter pageant that happened in real time in Jerusalem in 326. I don't know when it happened. It was a long time ago. This is the second oldest one, next to the original, in my opinion.
So this is your traditional passion play. I mean, think Passion of the Christ, but it happens outdoors. This place has been built up over the last 80 years.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the really cool things about it is a lot of the original backdrop was built under the Federal Works Progress Administration.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the walls and stuff.
Oh, so it's like fortified.
Right.
Like it could take a cannonball if it needed to.
Exactly. They do broadcast the event over FM radio to the crowd. So like you were saying, when you were a kid, you'd pull up. Literally, it's playing through your car speakers.
Right there. Yeah, it's like going to the drive-in almost. Okay, so it started in 1926. So within 8-year span, over 40,000 people visited this thing.
Right, and the property itself is huge. It's 66 acres.
That's a lot. It really doesn't look like much because it's pretty well structured. Everything is kind of has its place, but it's huge.
It's huge. Yeah. Again, though, thousands of people go to this thing every year. So if this is something you want to attend, you probably want to make plans to be there early. So that you have a spot to park.
Get your Mears burger, and then run out there and get lined up at the Holy City.
And then when you're done, head into Medicine Park, get yourself a red bone Indian taco.
And then take a dip in well, no, I don't know if they'll let you do that after dark, but I'm going to say you could probably slip a skinny dip in out there at the Bath
I
Lake.
bet you can't, and I bet you they don't want us even suggesting it.
You know
Keep
what?
your
You're
pants
right.
on.
Keep your pants on, people, all right? There are decent people down there. Well, anyway, coming up after the break, we are headed to 89ers Day. Stay tuned. So I brought us a haul. We got a care package.
We did.
From our good friends over at Red Bone Indian Tacos, because you know what we need? Some more damn t-shirts. I'm gonna get thrown out of the house with nothing but a bag of t-shirts and some shoes to wear.
And you're gonna be happy. Dude, you showed up with the t-shirts and I was like, oh, that is a really cool design.
Yes.
And then I looked at the next one and I was like, wow, that is a cooler
That's
design.
An even cooler design. And those are last year's t-shirts.
Right. And the thing about it is, everybody loves...
I like a t-shirt.
Everybody loves a t-shirt.
When I went to the Journey show the other night, we got front row, I won tickets. Anyway, they gave out free t-shirts. I love my free t-shirts. I also love having t-shirts designed. And if you do too, you need to talk to Ronnie Davenport over at Tailboard Apparel, screen printing and embroidery. He can literally do anything.
Right. And the thing about it is, if you own a small business, people love t-shirts. Some cool designs. And Ronnie can help you come up with a cool new logo, a cool design for your shirt that will have people lined up to advertise for your business.
And you know what's better than a business card? Something else he can do? Drinking cups with your company's logo, with your family reunion logo on it. What better way to represent you? I love cups. How many cups do you own that aren't glass? 90% of the cups I have say something else on it.
All of my glasses are coffee cups.
Absolutely. So
From places.
If you're looking to do any of these things, all you got to do, give Ronnie a call for a free quote. That's 405-517-2174.
Or find him on the internet at tailboardapparel.com.
You know, I saw 89er Day celebration, and immediately in the back of my head, I started thinking about the 80 days of the 89er ball games. When it was,
Dude, I love the 89ers.
And I sat where you probably sat where the poor kids were on the grass.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where you met your first love. That's where you got beat up. That's where somebody stole the foul ball from you. But that's not this. It's something different.
The 89ers Day celebration in Guthrie, Oklahoma, April 20th through the 23rd, is the commemoration of the land run of 1889 and the birth of Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Guthrie is, I'm sorry, the premier location for 89ers Day celebration. They're steeped in tradition. They're Oklahoma's original capital. I can't think of a better place to celebrate something like this than Guthrie. And we've done a ton of Guthrie shows, and
we have covered Guthrie quite a bit.
Yeah. We've never talked about this, though.
No, we haven't. Guthrie does have a real magic to it.
Yeah, they do.
But this event basically harkens back to 1889. On April 22nd, tens of thousands of excited Victorian-era land seekers lined up at the borders of the unassigned lands of central Oklahoma, ready to grab their part of the state.
Stake a claim.
By the end of the day, so after the gunshot goes off for people to go stake their claim, by nightfall, Guthrie had gone from uninhabited to a bustling tent city of over 10,000 people.
When I think of the land run, this is silly, but my earliest experience outside of learning about it in Oklahoma history is watching Far and Away with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise.
You probably loved that movie too.
I came to Oklahoma, we're going to stake a claim. I can't remember. That's my Oklahoma history lesson, and I probably should never do this show ever again.
Yeah, you should be fired.
So let's talk about the celebration a little bit.
The celebration kicks off with the annual Chuck Wagon feed. I have every intention of going literally just for this part.
And I'm going to say, I'll ask, excuse me, cowboy, does the beans have meat in it? And they're going to take me out and
they're going to shoot you.
They're going to shoot me in the back of the head.
Yes. This is delicious Western-style dinner. Brisket, beans.
Okay, I can eat that.
Coleslaw.
Yeah, I can have the live music. Does it go against my dietary restrictions?
They've got auctions.
Yeah.
They've got a huge carnival, rides and games for all skill levels. They've got the arts and crafts show. On Saturday, they've got the 89er parade, which is, dude, this is one of those things where I feel like more small towns need to look to Guthrie for this event specifically. Mm-hmm. Their parade is not the 19 cars or whatever. They're talking wagons, buggies, horses, antique cars, marching bands, all coming down the historic downtown road. Dude, it's different. I mean, it's to a whole nother level.
Everything that Guthrie does is in celebration of their town, statehood. They embrace. I honestly can say, and if you're out there listening and you think your town does a better job, please, by all means, drop a comment, leave a review. But Guthrie,
I think they tattoo their kids with the Oklahoma State logo, like at birth.
What we don't know is they probably have their schoolhouses are like the Little House on the Prairie schoolhouse. They are enmeshed in their tradition. And not enough, like you said, not enough towns even scratch the surface of what Guthrie does.
I agree. And then at the end of the night, at the end of Saturday, they end the whole thing with a rodeo.
I mean, Guthrie's everything Oklahoma. They really are. I mean,
they do a good job.
If you're in for something that's family friendly, historically accurate, Guthrie's it. They really are it. They don't get enough. Guthrie doesn't get enough. They get a lot of credit at Christmas time because it's
And they get a lot of credit at Halloween.
But they
do it all year long.
They do it all year long. I mean, their Main Street Association, their Chamber of Commerce, I think it's a requirement. If you say anything, if you go out of state for vacation, they probably fire you.
It's a distinct possibility. If you want more information on that event, though, it's 89erdays.com. Now, the one thing that I am going to say that Guthrie doesn't have
is what?
That our next event does have.
Kevin Bacon?
7 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon.
You're absolutely right. It's the Footloose Festival, April 23rd, coming up in Elmore City. If you're not from around here and you have seen the movie Footloose, what you don't understand is it's based on a real town. This is a real thing. Elmore City was banned from holding dances. They couldn't have a dance. And now, generations later, they're embracing it because Elmore City is etched into pop culture forever.
For sure. The story itself commemorates the famous 1980 prom that ended the ban on dancing and inspired the community to get up and dance.
Now, I haven't seen Footloose in a cool minute.
1984.
That's a long time ago. I was 7. You were 11. That's a long time ago. They're encouraging you to come out, dress in your favorite, 80s clothing, your retro clothes. They're going to have arts and crafts booths. Of course, much like, I think now it's almost like if you don't have food trucks, you don't know how to organize an event. Seems like every event, probably not, the food truck in Guthrie is a covered wagon. So you're probably not going to get, if you ask for sliders, they're probably going to give you a branding iron. But here, food trucks, they have a car and motorcycle show, and of course,
dance contests. The thing that blows my mind about this event
is why it even has to be a thing.
Not even that. The thing that really kills me is that, like, up until 1980 or 1978, dancing had been banned in the town for almost 100 years.
That's crazy. What do you get? What do you sneak out to the barn to do the foxtrot? I don't even know I want to know what the penalty was. I want to know what they did to do dancing. Did they head over the Red River? I don't know what you do. You can't. Hell, I try. I can't dance, but sometimes from the waist up in my cubicle, I can't help myself. And the thought of being shot because I
don't think they were shooting people. I don't think that was a thing. But the event does have some unique activities. Of course, the dance.
Okay, yeah.
The costume contest. Lawnmower races.
Oh, you ever been or seen those?
I have not personally seen a lawnmower race.
Okay, so not to give any other... we'll get to them eventually. But there's a small town out west, El Reno, that has lawnmower races on Friday nights. If we miss this, we're gonna go. We're gonna drag ourselves out there. It's riding lawnmowers, man, and they're souped up, and they go fast.
That is super cool. I am gonna say though that I'm hopeful that the street dance that ends this evening is choreographed. I would love to walk into a choreographed, street-wide dance routine.
Basically like a flash mob where everybody, one person starts it and the next, it's 5 people before you know it, everybody's doing
like the whole street.
Everybody's doing the Thriller dance all at once, and you're like, I don't know how to do it, but I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Fake it till you make it, baby. Yeah. This almost, we got to go to this one. I feel like we got to be there for this one, man. I don't know.
Like I said, the month of April is cram-packed with festivals.
It's festival. Like, I feel like late March, April is the kickoff.
It really is. And then, it's Oklahoma, so you don't have that long before it's so dang hot that the only festival you can take part of better have water.
Right. I'm not going to the ice cream festival in August. It'll be an ice cream soup festival. And I get too hot. So you folks, you got a couple months with me max. and then I'm hiding out till the fall festival.
That's when your ice cream truck service kicks in.
Right, absolutely.
I work in the back with the dishing up ice cream.
Well, if you're looking for more information on that festival, go to ChickasawCountry.com.
Up next, we have the Muralfest 66, April 30th in Miami, Oklahoma.
The only place in America where the eyes go, you know what I mean? Yeah, mural making, we talk about it a lot, and a lot of times you gotta look for it, but mural making is becoming like this. There's this huge movement right now. You're seeing it everywhere.
Right, but I really like what Miami's doing with this.
Okay.
This isn't just a celebration of street art.
Right.
This is a celebration and opportunity to watch the street art happen.
In real time.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
The event brings live artists to Miami, which is a popular Route 66 destination. They gather in the heart of downtown Miami, and you watch artists literally start filling in the blank walls.
You look back, and maybe my math and my history lessons sometimes don't add up. 20 years ago, there's not a chance. You'd have to see some kid with a backpack at midnight painting up a wall, and then it'd be covered up, by the end of the week. Now, street art in the culture of street art, in a small town 20 years ago would have been unheard of. That was kind of a big city thing, and it was all associated with the street culture and graffiti. Now you're seeing a lot of, and I think a lot of it has to do with the younger generations kind of moving into these smaller communities and making it okay. Is that fair to say?
I would say refreshing.
Yeah. It's kind of hitting the refresh button on some of these communities.
I think I see a lot of street art that I really like that is a throwback.
Yeah.
How many times I've come across a new mural of an old Dr. Pepper sign on a brick wall.
Oh, I like those.
I love that.
And I do, and I'll like them in 30 years when the patina's worn off and you can barely make it out. You know what I mean?
Right. But I've seen a few of those. I've seen a few of those with some unique changes done to them.
With kind of some modern twist, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. And the fact that they've literally arranged for these murals to have additions done during their event, I think it's a great idea.
Golly, kind of looking back on all the stuff that we've talked about this episode, there are so many things to do. And it's like almost bam, bam. You didn't grab everything from April, but just looking at this, like, okay, that's this week, that's next week, that's the week after that. And there, somewhere in between all of that is more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. Tons of stuff to do.
Yeah, there are literally a metric ton of things to do. So if we didn't tickle your fancy with one of the festivals that we brought up today, go to travelok.com. I promise you'll find an event that is exactly what you want to do during the month of April.
You can't swing a cursor without hitting an event. And it's only going to get better throughout the summer as things start to open up even more and people start to come out more.
People are getting a lot more comfortable with the idea, and I think that over the last few years, you have seen a real resurgence in the effort that is going into not only just the events, but the state as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. And one last shout out.
Sure.
I want to give a shout out real quick to Burrito Grill in Blanchard. Every week I come through on a Wednesday. The kid knows what I want. They take care of me. They're extra friendly. I've even called in to tell them how great they're doing. And that goes into my next point. If you're buying local, hell, if you're not buying local, every now and again, just tell them thank you. They, just like we want reviews, it does not hurt them. It doesn't hurt their feelings to hear that you like what they're doing.
Absolutely. I think it's important to get feedback, not only, just to boost the morale of the people that sometimes have jobs that aren't the most envious. I'm sure making a burrito for Brett is probably the most tedious, ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Like, you don't want any meat. No. Okay.
and no cheese, and no
cheese.
sour cream,
Okay.
and
You want a burrito with
so you want the paper. You want the paper wrapper and lettuce. Got it. Okay.
So if the burrito tortilla had parents, you wouldn't eat it. Right. Well,
but we would
Yeah.
we want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
How are we doing? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What events should we have covered in the month of
Right.
April that we left out because we're
weird.
because we just don't know the best 6 events that happened in the month of
And
April?
we've lived here our entire lives.
Let us know. Find us on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Find us on whatever social media app you're using. Or just go over to iTunes and give us a review. This has been the Only in OK Show. I'm Harley,
I'm Brett.
and we're out of here.
Peace.
How are kids?
Good. Carson's starting to say some staying with my shoes, mate. So what do you want? Muggins? Kids are good.
Muggins.
Mate, fucking
Can you-
ghosted. What?
You're going to have to work really hard since you can't hear yourself
Yeah.
to stay on your
stay the
microphone.
Okay, sorry. Well, we're intending to talk about this theater. You don't really care about my kids.
No, I was asking about your kids.
I
but
want
figured-
have to make normal conversation. Make it sound natural. How are your children? Do you like to have them? Yes, I like to have my children. Very good. Do they make bomb? No, they don't make bomb. Nice. I had siblings and they all died. It must be nice to have children. Hey, what's in this, man? That's Labrador, man. Wow, 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 wow.
Muggins, huh?
Muggins.
That kid say Uncle Harley yet? You're welcome till he does.
His birthday. You guys are.
Depends.
Saturday.
Can he say Uncle Harley?
Dude,
Because that's a long
no, here's the thing.
the...
No, here's the deal. Try being dad and going, okay, mom's over here. Where's mama? Where's Bubba? Points over here. Where's Midnight, the cat? Points over there. Where's Sadie, the dog? Points. Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy?
He's like, I don't see the mailman. So.
Yeah, no, it's like FedEx guy goes, huh? I'm like, boy, I'm more. But he'll sometimes point to my picture on the wall. Where's Daddy? He'll point over here. I'm like, come on. I love you unconditionally. I just feel like it doesn't go both ways. I do a lot for you, kid. I may not get Mama's Amazon packages here a day early. Yeah, we have Amazon Prime, and then there's Amazon Baby Daddy, where it gets here a little bit earlier than everybody else.
The Amazon guy gets here at like 8:15. Like
8:15,
or like clockwork.
or he shows up. He always shows up right after my car pulls out of the driveway. How much is that service? Because I can tell you what it's costing me. A relationship with my son. What's funny, though, about Mason, he's ahead of the game in a lot of aspects. Where Carson had a moment, like a span of time where he could give a shit about me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was because of the fashion in which we were feeding our children are different now. She nursed Carson for, 11 months. Not really. And then Mason didn't really have that. But he's all about me. But Carson, he could have took me or left me. And right now he's taking me or leaving me. He wants to go bye-bye with me, but he won't point me out in a room full of people.
It's funny.
How are your kids? Old enough to drive.
Yeah. Scary shit, dude.
Old enough to drive and leave the house and come back and leave the house and come back. You don't have to take them everywhere you go.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I don't see my kids anymore.
It's weird when I come here. I'm almost kind of like, where are the kids at? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are pictures of me and Maddie when she was like 5, where I remember I would come over here and literally spent most of the time in hair or makeup. And you were like, hey, come outside. I'm like, I can't. I'm in the middle of a freaking manicure. And then when we'd get done, she'd do it. And now it's like, shut my door, leave me alone. I'm like, golly. I really think that teenagers, they can do without, they can't survive without you, but they could do without you until they're about, when did your kids start to come back around again? 20?
Yeah.
When they realize, oh wow, this is harder than we thought, or kind of miss that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a little bit different for you because you've got a couple of kids that live out of state.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I remember when I was cool.
You were never cool.
Well, are you saying that I was never cool?
You, Brett, were never cool
to my kid.
Oh, okay.
Caleb, I was cool to him from about 5 until 10.
I can see that.
And then it starts that luster. I'm not Superman anymore. Some guy on YouTube that does a Minecraft walkthrough is like his hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't grow up with the same heroes we did. Ours were the Incredible Hulk. Now it's some guy named, Blue's Clues 420 that makes, Mario videos. So weird not being able to hear myself, which is ironic to say, because I can hear myself.
Right.
Did you know that the voice that you hear in your head is different than I hear?
Yes.
For those playing at home, it's because your head is like an echo chamber or a sound booth. You're hearing a muffled version of Raised by Wolves and stuff like that. But Lovecraft Country is definitely one. Have you watched the Watchmen series on there?
No.
Watch it. Put that on there. But yeah, Love Carpet Country. Welcome to Love Carpet Country, where we sell love by the foot.
By the square foot.
By the square foot. Looking for remnants of carpets past? Come to Lovecraft Carpet Country. See, I can't even say it. Love Carpet. You ready?
3, 2, 1.
And 3, 2, 1.